Welcome back to DRM News Global. If you've been anywhere online recently, you couldn't really miss it, could you?
No, it was everywhere.
This huge buzz, kind of shockwaves about The Simpsons.
Institution?
Exactly. And specifically about, well, headlines saying Marge Simpson had died. It stopped people in their tracks.
It really did. Real confusion, maybe even a little pulling at the heartstrings.
Totally. And it all comes from the season 36 finale. I mean, this show has been on forever, right? Decades.
Decades.
But somehow this specific thing, Marge's fate, it just lit up the conversation again. Made you think, wow, how do they still do that?
And that's really what we want to dig into here on DRM News Global today. We're not just, recapping.
Right.
Our mission here is to unpack this story, yes, but also look at The Simpsons' whole history with characters leaving. It's often pretty poignant.
Yeah, it is.
And maybe understand what this Marge thing tells us about the show's legacy and, well, how we all connect with these really, really long stories.
So yeah, settle in. We've gone through the news, the fan chatter, all the takes to pull up the important bits for you. By the end of this, you should get why this became such a huge deal and what it says about, maybe, our relationship with that Springfield family.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the shocking news itself. The episode was the season 36 finale, Stranger Things.
Right.
And the key thing is, it's not a normal episode. It's a flash forward, like way forward.
Yeah, a big jump. 35 years into the future for the family.
35 years. Wow.
And yeah, it's in that future that we find out Marge is gone. There's this montage bit with Sarah McLachlan singing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, singing that Marge passed before Homer. It's kind of heavy.
And the headstone detail.
Ah, yes, the headstone. It reads, beloved wife, mother, and then, wait for it, and pork chop seasoner.
Oh, my gosh. That is so perfectly Marge, isn't it? Even
Even in the future afterlife, yeah. It nails her essence.
So what's the setup in this future? Lisa comes back.
Yeah, Lisa's, super successful. She comes back to Springfield.
And finds
Bart, who's kind of described as a deadbeat Bart, still at 742 Evergreen Terrace.
Oh.
And Homer's there, too, even though he was meant to be in a retirement place.
So things kind of fell apart without Marge.
Seems that way. But the real, emotional heart of it is Marge herself, or rather a message from her.
A posthumous message.
Exactly. A video message she left for Bart and Lisa. And she's basically telling them, stick together.
Wow.
Don't drift apart. She says they share a journey with your siblings that no one else will ever understand.
That's powerful.
It really is. And that message is what kicks them into gear. They need to find Homer, reconnect. It shows Marge is still the glue,
Even after she's gone, holding them together.
Precisely.
But then there's the Simpsons twist, right? The afterlife bit.
Oh, yeah. You can't have poignant without the little absurd. So Marge is apparently in heaven.
Okay.
And she's found new love with her old high school crush, Ringo Starr.
Ringo Starr. Okay, that's a choice.
It's definitely a choice. It's very Simpsons, isn't it? Maybe lightens the mood a bit, or just adds that layer of surrealness they do so well.
So Ringo, got it. But the big takeaway, the crucial point for everyone listening.
Yes, absolutely crucial. Despite the headlines, despite the death, this is one possible future.
Not the present.
Not the present at all. Marge is expected back, alive and well, for season 37 and beyond. They're renewed through season 40. That's until 2029.
Right.
And Julie Kavner, the voice of Marge, she's not going anywhere in the current show. So everyone can breathe easy on that front.
Phew. Okay, but the fact that this future event got so much attention...
It tells you something, doesn't it?
It really does. It shows this deep, enduring affection for the show, for these characters.
Absolutely. It's like you said, they're almost like family for people who've watched for so long. Even a non-canon future death feels significant.
It taps into something real, which maybe brings us to how the show has handled actual character departures over the years, because this isn't the first time they've dealt with loss.
Not at all. And they've approached it in, quite different ways, depending on the situation.
Yeah, sometimes actors leave, sometimes, sadly, the voice actors pass away in real life.
Exactly. Each one is kind of a unique case study in how a long-running show navigates these things.
Let's talk about some examples, like way back, Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Oh, yeah. Lisa's mentor, that was, 30 years ago, one of the first big recurring character deaths.
And it was genuinely sad. It showed the show could do real emotion early on.
It really did. It set a tone, I think. Then you have Maud Flanders.
Ned's wife. The T-shirt cannon incident. Season 11.
Infamous. And that came about because the actress Maggie Roswell left after a pay dispute.
Yeah. But what's interesting there is how they didn't just write her out. Her death actually mattered for Ned's character going forward.
It totally reverberated, I should say. It gave Ned this whole new dimension. Raising the kids alone, his faith tested, it had lasting impact. It wasn't just a gag.
Definitely not. And then, maybe the most direct link between real life and the show, Edna Krabappel.
Ah, Mrs. K. That was heartbreaking. Season 25.
It was a direct tribute, wasn't it? After the voice actress, Marcia Wallace, passed away in 2013.
Yeah, from complications of pneumonia and breast cancer. The show handled it with such grace, I thought.
Bart's chalkboard message. We really miss you, Mrs. K. Just gut-wrenching.
It really was. And talk about impact, poor Ned Flanders. He'd married Edna after Maude died, so he lost 2 wives in the show's run.
Oh, wow. I forgot about that connection. Yeah, that adds another layer of tragedy for him.
It shows how interconnected these characters are and how real-world events sometimes ripple through Springfield in profound ways.
But they didn't always kill characters off when an actor died, did they? Thinking of Phil Hartman.
Right, that was handled very differently. Phil Hartman, brilliant actor, Canadian-born, tragically murdered in 1998.
He voiced Troy McClure and Lionel Hurts, right? Unforgettable characters.
Absolutely iconic. Hi, I'm Troy McClure,
Yeah.
But after his death, the show didn't kill off Troy or Lionel. Matt Groening and the team decided to just retire them.
Permanently retired. No send-off episode. Just gone.
Exactly. It felt like a mark of respect. Those characters were so tied to Hartman's specific voice and performance. Recasting felt wrong. And, well, killing them off might have seemed crass, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that. A quiet retirement out of respect.
So, different approaches.
Yeah.
And sometimes they do recast. Like recently, Pamela Hayden, who voiced Milhouse for like 35 years.
She retired.
She retired in 2024. And Milhouse wasn't written out. Kelly MacLeod took over the voice, actually debuted in the same episode. Marge died in the future.
Wow. Okay, so recasting is also an option they use.
It shows they have a whole toolkit for managing continuity, for dealing with mortality, reflecting real life sometimes, making narrative choices other times. It's complex.
It really is, especially when you think about just how long this show has been going. Renewed through season 40. That's 2029.
Incredible longevity.
And just to reiterate, the main cast, Julie Kavner as Marge included, they're sticking around in the present day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which brings up that whole canon thing again, especially with these future episodes.
Right, because they've shown us different futures before, haven't they? And they don't always match up.
Not at all. Fans love debating this. What's canon? What officially counts in the show's timeline? These flash forwards make it messy.
Like, there was that season 11 episode, Bart to the Future.
Where Lisa becomes president after Donald Trump, which was weirdly predictive at the time.
Eerily so. But then, later, season 23, Holidays of Future Past.
Right. A different future. Lisa's married to Milhouse in that one.
And crucially, Marge and Homer are still there, just older.
Exactly. So, that future directly contradicts the Stranger Things future, where Marge passes before Homer.
So how do people deal with that? How do you reconcile these? Are they just alternate timelines?
That's generally the thinking, yeah. Both from fans and, it seems, the creators. They're treated more like what-ifs.
Fun explorations, not set-in-stone prophecies.
Precisely. It gives them freedom. They can tell these kinds of stories without locking the main present-day show into one specific outcome. Keeps things flexible.
Which you probably need after, nearly 40 years on air.
You really do. And Matt Groening himself, the creator, he was at the Annecy Animation Festival recently.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, despite critics sometimes saying the show's past its prime, he feels the fandom is as intense as ever.
I believe it, especially after the reaction to this Marge news.
It shows that connection is still incredibly strong. And he shared a little personal detail, too, which I thought was fascinating.
What's that?
His own real family members, named Homer, Marge, Lisa, Maggie, and Abe.
Whoa, I knew they were named after his family, but... Yeah.
But here's the kicker, the real-life detail. His mother, the real Marge Groening, actually outlived his father, the real Homer Groening.
Wow. That's quite a twist, considering the show's dynamic in this recent future episode.
Isn't it? Adds another strange layer to how the show mirrors and sometimes inverts reality. It's all very meta.
So, wrapping this part up, it feels like whether this Marge future is canon or not is almost beside the point.
In a way, yeah.
The huge reaction proves that the love for The Simpsons is still there. Maybe not peak 90s ratings, but deep affection.
it endures.
It absolutely endures. This family, this town, they're a cultural bedrock.
So we've gone from that initial, wait, Marge died shock
Huh?
through the show's whole history of saying goodbye to characters in different ways.
Maude, Edna, Troy.
Right. And landed on this idea of its incredible lifespan and this, like, elastic timeline they have.
It's quite a journey for a cartoon family.
It really is a
Yeah.
testament to its unique spot in, well, everything.
And maybe that leaves us, and you listening, with a final thought to chew on.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean for a fictional world, for Springfield, to operate like this, with a timeline that can stretch and snap back, where characters can die 30 years from now, but still be right there, unchanged, next week?
How does that narrative trick, that elasticity, actually help The Simpsons stay relevant? And how does it keep managing to provoke these really strong emotional reactions from all of us after all this time?
That's a great question. It makes you think about other long-running shows, too, doesn't it? How they handle time and change.
Definitely.
The power of these characters, we feel we know how they adapt or don't adapt, and keep surprising us. Lots to consider. Well, thanks for joining us for this DRM News Global discussion.